Hi, I'm Betsy, and this is my helper, Ellie. We just bought a 2018 Ram ProMaster 1500 cargo van. We plan to convert it to a camper van for fun getaways and adventures. Come along with us on this journey.
I'm going to start working on the plumbing system. So we're going to have two jugs, that one and one to the left of it, for our fresh water. And we'll have a gray water tank in the back. So what I'm going to be doing is cutting off the access port right here. And I've got these quick connects that will go in there. And then I'll have the 1/2-inch hose running in there. And then there's the other end of the quick connect that'll be coming from the water pump. So this is the lid of the container, so I took it off because I don't want to get shavings in the container because it's nice and clean now. I'm going to be cutting this off, so I took the cap off, and this is where the quick connect is going to go in. I'm going to use a Dremel tool to cut this. I've seen other people do it, and they have really fancy equipment, or even a saw, but I gave away my saw. So I'm going to try with the Dremel tool, and then I'll drill the hole big enough so the quick connect can go in. Once again, the Dremel tool has come to the rescue. It's got a tiny little diamond blade on it, and it just cut right through this. Took about 30 seconds. So now what I have to do is make the hole large enough for the quick connect to go down in here. So I've got to get it so it's flush with this flange. So I used the little sanding drum, and just kept going around the inside here, and I'm going to have to be careful in the next one because I made it less pretty, but it's still functional. And so it fits in there, and I've got the little washer and nut to hold it on. So I'll just clean this up before I do it, and then it's ready to go. There is a notch in the washer. See the little notch? You gotta line it up with the notch that's on the unit. So I've got the first one in. So it's pretty easy now that I know what I'm doing. You do want to just make sure there's enough of a little notch in the hole so that notch where that washer lined up on the top can fit, because it does bump out just a little. But this will connect, and there's the button you push to just release it. And then I'll be putting in the 1/2-inch tubing connect to that barb to go into the jug, and the quick connect to go out. I am pre-assembling the sink, and then I will drop it in the countertop and attach it, and then put the countertop in. So we just have I think it's called Grow. Not sure how you say it. Anyway, it's just a single lever, cold water only faucet, just on and off. We'll just leave it on because we'll be using a foot pump, but it has a 1/2-inch thread, so I just went to Home Depot and got the 1/2-inch nut with the 1/2-inch barb, which will go into the 1/2-inch tubing. And then I'm just putting the drain thing in, so I'm putting plumber's putty on it and then attaching that, and then I'll just clean off the excess plumber's putty. Okay, I'm at the last step of the water system. So I've got this silicone tube. I've washed it off so it's nice and clean. Just putting it down into the bottom of the can so I know where to cut it. Then I'm going to put it on this little barb. Here's a tip I'll give you, is that just make sure that you don't have any leaks here, or when you screw the lid on, just dump the whole thing over to see if anything leaks, because it'll slop around, come out and get on the floor you ran, and you don't want that. So I'm having to do a little tweaking to just make sure that things aren't leaking, but I've got it to the point in the other two jugs that it's great. So now I just need to tweak this one, tighten things down, but anytime you fill it up and you screw the cap back on, just dump it over and make sure nothing's leaking. I have a hose clamp on here, and I just didn't want to get snagged up on any of the metal pieces, so I put some tape around it. But a nice thing about this quick connect is, you see there's water. You can see there's some water in there. And when you release it, so the water stays in there, not dripping out, stays in the line. So when you hook it up to the next tank, you don't have any airlock or anything, it just starts flowing. The strap that I have in here, which I'm going to put on the tanks, it's connected to one of those cargo tie downs, which is underneath the cabinet. So it'll give it some stability and security. The water system is complete. So down here I have two of the, I think they call them jerry cans. Cut a hole in the base of the cabinet to keep them secure, and then have a strap to go around them once they're both seated in there. I have a quick connect, and it'll go in one, and then as that runs out, put it in the other, so it's easy. It just snaps in. I've got a drain. I got the drain hooked up to the sink, and that's just going into a clear jug. That's the gray water tank, so I was experimenting to make sure it works. It's called the baby whale foot pump. So all you do is step on it and you get water. It's as easy as that. And then it's just draining right down into our gray water tank, which I can just unscrew and dump in a loud spot, and we're good to go.
Thanks for watching. I hope this helps you with your project.